In February and March of 2026, I'll be back on the road in Hull, Gateshead, Derby, and in Colchester. 2026 is when they want to cross the line as fast as they can into an AI-controlled humanity. We stand up now or we regret it forever. That's 4 dates, and you can get the tickets in the link below. So now we have troops on the streets in Los Angeles. We have troops on the streets in Washington, D.C. We have the dictator Trump saying he's going to introduce troops on the streets in other cities. He wants to unseat Maduro in Venezuela because of all the oil they have. Never mind the excuses he gives. They always do that. It's because of all the oil there. And we're seeing, ironically, everything that I've been warning about coming to fruition in the United States, everywhere else too, but in the United States, via a man who claims to oppose what he's introducing. There's no better example of someone who has sold out to a colossal extent, indeed, totally, than Alex Jones. I was pointing this stuff out a long time ago, and then along came Alex Jones later, but still a long time ago. And he was talking about all these things that Trump is introducing, and he was opposing them. He was warning about them. And now, day after day, he's promoting them. The latest one, which I found absolutely staggering last night, is that he's supporting Trump's desire to use troops to unseat Maduro in Venezuela and to put troops into Mexico against the will of the Mexican government, using the excuse of drug cartels or whatever. But if you put this thing together in a much more expanded way, you can go back to Elon Musk's grandfather, a guy called Haldeman, who was operating in Canada, and he was pushing something called technocracy. The technate, they called it. The technocracy is a form of government which they want globally, in which no longer do you have elected politicians. That's why they're putting so many moronic politicians into power, because they're trying to undermine public support for elected politicians. You look at the UK cabinet, there's not a brain cell to rub together, not 2 brain cells to rub together there in the cabinet of the UK, including the Prime Minister, Starmer. You look at the cabinet and the government of Trump in the United States, same. I'm sure you'll find, you look all over Europe, you'll find the same too. So the idea is that you have a government of appointees, of technocrats, of bureaucrats, of people running health systems, etc., appointed people. And the technate that Elon Musk's grandfather wanted and was supported by people in the United States, and the technocracy movement in the 1930s supported Adolf Hitler, by the way, they were planning a technate area that went from where? You can see the maps, the old maps from the 1930s, that goes from Venezuela in South America all the way through Central America, including Panama and Mexico, up through the United States, up through Canada, and guess where it ends in the north? Greenland. And when you look at targeting Venezuela, moving troops into Mexico, saying we want Canada to be the 51st state, which he never mentioned in the election campaign, and suddenly he comes to office and he's all over it, and why they want to include Greenland as an American territory is it's the technate unfolding. And these technates are designed to have their like all over the world under a world government, which again would be appointed, not elected. So when you've been doing it as long as I have, 36 years now, these things all fit. But if you're new to it, it's bewildering And I understand why. It was bewildering to me in 1990. You don't see how the things fit. And therefore, I've just finished a new book, which is designed specifically to put these elements together and show how it all fits together. Because I see people, genuine people, who are opposing this, but supporting that. When that and this are both part of the same conspiracy for global dystopia.
If you want to read more and watch more of my content, then go to the description under the video where you can buy my books. The latest one is The Roadmap, where you can get tickets for public events, and how you can subscribe to a fantastic video channel called Iconic, iconic.com.